Hello, good morning. It's day 4. I'm in a new location. I thought I'd give you a different view. I'm in the kitchen this time and overlooking our lovely garden. And we've got a very interesting card today. It's Lady Virgo, and it's look for simplicity and harmony. And I really love this card. I actually started drawing the cards in 2015. And we'd done, by May 2016, we'd created 26 cards. And we then had a meditation in Shrewsbury. And after the meditation, it was a lovely day, Amanda Nicole, one of our practitioner level 4s, she turned to me and said, "What does 27 mean?" And I said, "Oh, 27. That's quite interesting because it's my birthday, 27th of September." And then Alan thought about it afterwards, and he meditated, and a final symbol came through. And then obviously there was a master that came through. So we had these extra details. So I thought I'd completed the deck. And then I was working in Providence, Rhode Island on a project. And on June 21st, 2016, so Summer Solstice Day, I created this Lady Virgo card. And so it's got nice memories for me because it was the last one to complete the deck. We had that nice message from Amanda and Nicole. Actually, at the same time, on that same meeting, I had been struggling with Sananda and Anna Sidoli, who's done level 2. She actually came up to me and she said, "Oh, I've got a message from Sananda that all is well." And that was like the piece that I needed to finish that off. So it was a nice day. So anyway, it came to the completion of the deck, and also it was done on the summer solstice in Providence, Rhode Island. But I've got some nice memories. So without further ado, I'm going to just show you the card placed on the table. So let me just see, since I'm in a new location, let's see if I can pause. Yes, I can. So here we are, and I would say that we have the card, and there's some nice imagery around it. Lady Virgo is sort of Chakra Ascension's equivalent ascending master of Lady Gaia. And the Lady Virgo really is actually more of a warrior. I think sometimes when we think of Gaia, we think of the earth and motherly things and nurturing, etc. But Lady Virgo is definitely a warrior, more like Boudica for the planet and for nature. I put some times of the year, Ostara, spring, Litha. You'll see it says Lithia, and that was my mistake. I've actually since corrected it, but of course we'd had so many thousands of cards printed with Lithia, but it's Litha, Mabon for autumn, and Yule for the winter. And this is a card, when you draw this card, it's also talking about getting out to nature, connecting with ourselves. The book is quite interesting. I read it yesterday. It is, the general meaning is, it is important to look at your life holistically and to see how its different areas interact with each other. One area of your life may be successful at the expense of another. Try to bring harmony to your life so that it functions more efficiently and organically. Now, you'll remember yesterday when I drew New Ways of Thinking, I specifically was shuffling to do with my physical well-being. And yesterday I shuffled and I had questions. I had several questions. I had about my physical well-being, and I also asked about ongoing projects. So for health, it's interesting. For optimum health, You must look at yourself holistically. For physical health, you need a balanced diet and exercise, which is what I was saying yesterday. So I was really pleased with that. For emotional, mental health, you need meditation and mindfulness practice. All areas of your life are equally important to maintain health and well-being. And I think that's particularly pertinent to me. It may be pertinent to you, but for me, pertinent at the moment because we're so mega busy at work and the hours can be long. And this is telling me that you've got to get a bit of a balance. You've got to, instead of just going on and on, you've got to say, I can only do so much in the allotted time. And then you're in the peak of concentration to be able to achieve things. That's what it's saying to me, certainly. Excuse me. Spirituality is quite interesting. It's saying when seeking spirituality, it is easy to become frustrated, self-obsessed, and ego-driven. The center of all spiritual practice is the search to connect with a force greater than oneself, whether we call that force love or God. Being aware of others and showing love in small everyday acts of kindness will take you down the path of enlightenment. You do not always need complex spiritual practices. And I love that. Those words that were channeled by Alan, I love that because I think sometimes we can think, we need to develop and understand the universe, and we need to understand what life's all about. And sometimes it's just simple acts of kindness and showing humanity to each other that actually then builds for a better life for ourselves, a better feeling of contentment, and also a better life for the whole planet. And certainly, I think at the moment where everything seems so polarized all over the world, it would be a good thing for all of us just to be thinking on a daily basis to do small acts of kindness for everyone. And those small acts together make a whole lot of love. So I think sometimes when you talk about those things, one can feel that it almost sounds glib or trite. If it was so easy to love people, then why aren't people doing it? And I think it's because we're also focused on ourselves and what we need to get out of the picture. And this is talking about looking for simplicity, for harmony, bringing yourself together. If I drew this card and somebody was talking about a relationship, I might say that actually possibly things have become stagnant and the person needs to step back and see the bigger picture. And also in relationships, if people are obsessing about small things that are irritating them about another person, they miss the whole picture of the bigger thing of the union that those people have. So it's quite an interesting card. I really like it. And then in comparison to the others, so just to recap, we've got give thanks for day 1, grasp the power for day 2, new ways of thinking for day 3, and now look for simplicity and harmony. And if I want to talk about the path that those cards are giving us at the moment, I would say this one on day 1 was saying, take stock of where you are and be grateful for where you are. Look forward to the future. Think about the opportunities that you have and put your heart and soul in them. And don't wait around for people to come and do it for you. Get out there and do it yourself. Before you want to affect big change, you need to work on your mindset. You need to almost imagine yourself in when that change happens and how you would feel. And actually, ultimately, is it really what you want? And then this one is, life doesn't need to be so complex. I am amazed that in my 61 years, that I spent most of that initial time acquiring things, working hard and acquiring things. And now, as I'm sort of going towards retirement, I'm giving a lot of things away. And I'm actually realizing that we don't need as much as we think. So if we were able to strip back and just think about the essential things, I think we would be far more content. That's certainly the case for me. And now there's always a caveat to that, because I do recognize, as I said earlier in the week, that I'm very fortunate. I've worked hard. I have material things that make me comfortable. So I do accept that if you are actually currently going for a food bank and needing the help for that, then it's easy to hear somebody say, oh, you don't need as much. If you're in real need, you need to have it. So I do accept that. And I think it's always important to think about one's mindset and how we view the world, and actually then think, how would we feel if we weren't so comfortable, or we weren't so healthy, or we weren't so positive? And that's sort of the message for today, I think. I hope you've enjoyed that. I have become aware that I say and a lot. So I apologize for that. And I shall try and regulate that. It is something that is me. So hopefully I can change that. I'm going to just see if I can just flick the camera. Oh, yes, that's better. So I'm at a slight angle, but as we move towards day 5, I hope that's been enjoyable for you. And I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Bye.